What's up, Dolph fans, and welcome into the Drive Time Training Camp special. We're going to take you behind the scenes to Miami Dolphins Training Camp and cover the week that was at practice here in Davie. We are here at Dolphins Training Camp in Davie, and there has been plenty of excitement coming into this new season, and that excitement has translated onto the football field for the last few days of Dolphins Training Camp practice. Let's go ahead and break down some of the big plays that occurred Monday through Wednesday at Dolphins practice. Devante Parker had a great finish to the 2019 season, and he has picked up right where he left off with a good start to training camp so far. His signature high-pointing catches down the football field have made some highlight plays for the Miami Dolphins over the course of his career, and that continued throughout the course of training camp through the first 3 days. Parker has gone up against some of the Dolphins' top cornerbacks, including new free agent acquisition Byron Jones, and those two have been competing hand-in-hand all camp long so far. Parker made a great play down the football field on Byron Jones in tight coverage, going up to get a Ryan Fitzpatrick pass down the field for a gain of 35 or 40 yards in practice, showing off the traits that made him a top receiver in the NFL in 2019. Bobby Mccain had a good week of practice so far, and he celebrated his birthday on Tuesday with a big interception. Mccain, playing at his deep safety position, his new position from 2019, continues into the new season as he broke on the ball and intercepted a Ryan Fitzpatrick pass in the middle of practice on Tuesday. He was greeted by teammates on the sideline in celebration of his interception, his first of training camp so far. Bobby Mccain wasn't the only new cornerback convert to safety on the Dolphins roster in 2019. Eric Rowe also made the jump and finished the season out strong in 2019, earning a new contract with the Dolphins. And now we're going to go ahead and talk to Dolphins safety Eric Rowe about how training camp is progressing so far and that jump from cornerback to safety. Eric, first I want to ask you, man, how's camp going? How you feeling?
Sore. Well, I mean, camp is going good, though. I'm excited to get back out there, put on the pads. I mean, we haven't played football since December, so, it was a long break, so it's always feel good to get back out there.
Well, it's year 2 for you here in Miami. Do you get any sense of comfortability in the heat and humidity in the second year, or is it just always hot?
No, it's always hot. Because the last time legit we practiced, in this heat, probably last September. I mean, it cools off after a while, and after you adjust to the heat, the minute it's maybe like 85, it feels good outside. So so now it's back up there and it's hot.
I do want to go back. I talked about the beginning of your time here in Miami. You come here as a cornerback, now you're playing safety and playing on a second contract with the team. When they approached you about the change, what was that like for you? What was your initial reaction to, hey, we want you to play some safety?
My initial reaction was, I understood, because at the time we were down. We were really low on depth with safeties. It wasn't a lot of depth going on, and we had some good depth at corner. So at the time, I was like, hey, I was still playing corner at the same time, so I was kind of flip-flopping back and forth, and that was kind of hard. But then when they're like, hey, I guess I did a good job. We want to keep you at safety. I know Rashard was hurt, and shoot, we really didn't have any safety after that, strong. So, I understood. Then I guess game by game, I was getting a lot more comfortable with it.
And is it a bigger challenge for you when it comes on the practice field, out there today, for instance? You're going through different drills when it comes to playing safety and cornerback, I'd imagine, right? Yeah,
I think I have there's some run pitch drills I got to do now. Learn how to come off blocks. Other than corner was working on your man technique. Just working on different stuff. So, there's different drills out there now for me.
We had Gerald Alexander on this weekend for media availability, and he talked a lot about the importance of communication, especially at that safety position. Is there a big increase in your level of comfortability now that you're in your second year as a safety in this defense? Do you feel more comfortable communicating to the defense this year than you did last year?
Yeah. There's a little bit different calls, but I have a lot of better understanding of kind of when to make that call and, how to make that call. Other than, I was comfortable last year, but last year I didn't have too many calls. I think the coach knew, hey, man up on the tight end and you'll fit in the run game kind of when you fit in. But now this year, I have run, responsibilities, fits. I have to get calls to the D-line, calls to the linebackers, calls to the corners, I mean, even to the other safety, to Bobby, there's a lot of different calls, but I'm a lot more confident this year.
Eric, I want to finish up here with a question for you about last year and kind of where your career came to this crossroads here in Miami, because you previously had missed a lot of time with some injuries. I was curious to get your take on how it felt for you to get that contract extension last year and to kind of have your football talent finally be able to show itself on the field. What was that moment like when you got approached by the Dolphins with a new contract?
Oh man, it felt great. I mean, just one, I want to be here. I want to be with Flo and Josh. I mean, it's the reason why I came here. To get that extension, and then plus like the years past of just injury after injury, something that you can't control. Then them two, giving me final shot to kind of show my talent, and kind of all the hard work kind of like kind of pays off. And me setting my family up, and being a place that I want to be at. I mean, it felt great.
Veteran safeties Eric Rowe and Bobby Mccain understand the importance of veteran leadership and setting a good example for the young cornerbacks and safeties in that defensive backfield room. They've been applying what they learned in the individual drills into the team portion of practice in 11-on-11 and the live scrimmages. One of those drills is the flip and transition, which you might see at the combine every year, where the defensive back has to work backwards in a back pedal and then flip and head to the sideline and try to make a play on a football deep down the field and secure the interception. We saw Bobby Mccain apply that drill to the scrimmage portion of practice when he closed down on a pass from Ryan Fitzpatrick to wide receiver Jakeem Grant. Grant was in between both cornerback Noah Igbenogany and safety Bobby Mccain, and Ryan Fitzpatrick tried to fit a tight window throw in there, but Bobby came over the top, closed down, and made a play on the football, separating Jakeem Grant from the pass and causing an incompletion.
Oh, yes! We got some clouds. Okay. We got some clouds. We got some clouds.
Wednesday provided the Dolphins players, coaches, and media alike a little bit of a break from the South Florida sun, but that wasn't the case on Monday and Tuesday's practice, as it was not lost on the veterans, rookies, newcomers, incumbents. Everybody understood how hot it was at Dolphins training camp on Monday and Tuesday.
It was hot like always. It's always hot.
Yeah, it's hot as
Despite the South Florida heat, the Dolphins players have maintained a high-level, high-energy practice throughout the course of the week here in the Dolphins' first week of training camp practices. Brian Flores' football team has to be tough, smart, and physical, and these players have embodied that mantra set by their head coach. Everyone on this Dolphins roster has maintained a high level of energy, spirit, and effort on the practice field Monday through Wednesday. That hard work throughout the course of the week earned the players a day off on Thursday, and they'll get back at it on Friday for another edition of Dolphins Training Camp. And if you enjoyed these segments and these breakdowns here on the Drive Time Training Camp special, be sure to check out the Drive Time podcast. We are always welcoming new fans and new friends of the podcast, like this particular Dolphins linebacker.
How's your podcast doing, all right?
Yeah, you're on it right now, actually.
Oh, let's go.
And that will conclude this first edition of the Dolphins Drive Time Training Camp special. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on social at Miami Dolphins. Until next time, fins up.